Hi, beautiful people. How are ya? I hope you're having a great day. Today, I'm going to talk about intestinal permeability and Sibo, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. This is part of the Cures series. In order to understand the products that Native Formula says can cure fibro, we need to understand some basic principles. So I have separated this information to watch separately so as not to confuse us on the topic and not make that video so long. I've spent so many days researching, so this is a section of it that I removed to do as a separate video. So please use this video to help you understand the topic. According to a 2020 study, our body naturally has an intestinal barrier between the outside and inside of the body. A functional intestinal barrier allows absorption of nutrients and fluids, but simultaneously prevents harmful substances like toxins and bacteria from crossing the intestinal epithelium and reaching the body. Amazing, right? An altered intestinal permeability, a sign of a troubled barrier function, has been associated with several chronic conditions in the last decade, including diseases originating in the gastrointestinal tract, as well as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Leaky gut syndrome is a theory that intestinal permeability is not only a symptom of gastrointestinal disease, but an underlying cause that develops independently. It's not currently recognized as a medical condition, but that doesn't stop most of us from saying we have a leaky gut. If our intestinal barrier is impaired, it may be letting toxins into our bloodstream and trigger an inflammatory response. Researchers know this is real, but aren't sure whether it's the disease in itself or whether it causes other diseases. It's known that intestinal permeability is a recognized feature of several inflammatory and autoimmune diseases like celiac and IBD. But it is considered a symptom, not a cause. The diseases themselves lead to chronic inflammation in the intestines and then leads to erosion of the intestinal barrier gradually over time. But intestinal permeability, IP, has also been found in celiac and IBD before they were even diagnosed. So it may be an early sign of one of those diseases. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth is an imbalance of the microorganisms in our gut that maintain healthy digestion. It means the bacteria that live in our small intestine are overgrown, and what normally maintains balance among our gut flora aren't working. When too many exist, symptoms like gas and diarrhea occur, but it can also inhibit our ability to digest and absorb nutrients from our food. It's normal to have bacteria in our gut, but overgrowth can cause these problems, especially if they're the wrong kind. Enzymes, gastric acid, bile, and immunoglobulins are some of the chemicals that control bacteria in the small intestine. If the emptying of the small intestine to the large intestine is slow or impaired, the bacteria have more time to breed. Studies indicate that 80% of people with IBS have Sibo. Prolonged use of proton pump inhibitors and antacids can cause Sibo, but don't stop using them if you need them. I mean, there are ways to stop this overgrowth. Like I have GERD, I'm not going to stop using the medication that has been prescribed because it'll prevent me from getting cancer. But the difference between Sibo and IBS is that IBS is difficult to treat, and Sibo can be clinically verified and treated. A breath test can be given to verify Sibo, which measures hydrogen and/or methane levels in our breath. It checks for gas-producing bacteria in the gut. Then blood tests for vitamin or blood protein deficiencies can be completed. A stool test for excess undigested fats or bile acids, or an imaging test to check for structural problems could be completed. So, do you know if you have intestinal permeability or SIBO? I do believe this is a real possibility in my life. I've never been told this. Perhaps it would take a functional doctor. I don't know, but it's interesting. I currently take a digestive enzyme after every time I eat something. It works wonders. It's stopped those pains that I would get from food. I'll be talking about probiotics in an upcoming video. And after researching that, I'm sure that I need that too. And even my current doctor has recommended a probiotic. Not a specific one, just taking a probiotic. So, what do you think about this topic? I look forward to sharing more as we move along this series. I hope you learned something. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you. In orbit, we have them, but overgrown. A breath test can be given to verify which structure. Bent,